Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the launch of Odigo's partner referral program for the UK and Ireland. We are live and direct from our headquarters in Paris in a really spiffy multimedia studio. And thank you to everybody that's taken the time to join us today. The theme of our little session is wine. We're in France, so why not? And what you can see on the screen here is a quote from a very famous UK wine connoisseur, Michael Broadbent. And he reckoned that drinking good wine with good food and good friends is one of life's most civilized pleasures. And that really resonates with me when it comes to referral partner communities. It's a real combination of 1 + 1 equaling 5. And that's what we're going to try and get over today and why this is so important to us at Odigo. Our agenda for the session is on your screen now, but we're going to talk about why we're doing this referral partner program now and why it's important to us and hopefully why it'll be important to you. We're going to go into detail on who are Odigo, but more importantly, how are we different. We're going to show you our wine in a demonstration, and then we're going to end on a update on what the program is all about, exactly what you'll get from it. And then there'll be a Q&A session at the end. So don't forget, you can ask any questions through the chat application as we go through the session today. So let's start with some introductions. So my name's Rob Wiles. I'm the channel director here at Odigo. I've been here 3 months, and clearly, as you can see from the screen, I was recruited to raise the average age of the team by at least 20 years. But my background is in UC, collaboration and contact center. And I'm joined today by Richard Holland.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you. So I'm Richard Holland. I've been with Odigo for just over 2 years now, and I am the head of channel and strategic alliances here in the UK. So I'm responsible for all of our ecosystem and partnerships, everything from these important referral partnerships that we're here to talk about today, but also strategic technology alliances like Salesforce and Google and Verint. And then lastly, our GSI partnerships like Capgemini and IBM. So that's my role. As I said, I've been here for about 2 and a bit years now, and I've seen Odigo come on a great transition in that period, particularly within the UK, and I'll talk a little bit more about our history in a short while. But before I do, St. John, if you'd just like to introduce yourself on the line there.
Yeah, sure thing. So I'm St. John Price. I sit within the pre-sales team. So I'm really helping our sales staff as well as our partners in new business, as well as some existing clients across the UK, but also touching on some of those European customers as well.
Thanks, guys. So why are we here today? Why is this important? The market, especially in the UK, when it comes to contact center as a service, there is tons of choice. There are tons of vendors that you could take your clients and potential prospects to, and we know and appreciate that. But to help us stand out in that market, we need organizations like yourselves. We need people like yourselves. We need access to those clients, access to those prospects that sit within our target market. And that's really where we see the value of a referral partner landscape. You're essentially the tech sommelier, to bring it back to the wine analogy. You know and understand your customers' problems and challenges. You know, you're in depth with those clients on a day-to-day basis. But you also understand the technology stack that can fix those problems. And that's not just contact center as a service. Most of the people on the call today have a wide breadth of experience in all sorts of technology, UC, collaboration, mobility, security. And that all is needed to drive a customer outcome. But also, you share the results when you've had a success, when you've had a win, when you've got a great customer success story. And we want to leverage all of that and enhance all of that when it comes to addressing our target market. So this is why it's really, really important for Odigo right now, especially as the UK and Ireland is a growth region for us. We're going to be successful here, but we need a referral partner community to really drive that success. So a little bit more about Odigo. Richard.
Thank you, Rob. So I'll give you a bit of a background on Odigo as an organization. So we're a European-focused organization. We're headquartered in Paris, which is where we're speaking to you from today. So we're headquartered in Paris, but our key sort of geographies in which we operate in are France, Spain, the UK, Germany, and Benelux, those latter three being sort of growth areas for Odigo in particular. Now, although we're focused on Europe and into selling into organizations that are headquartered and doing their procurement within Europe, we have both the telco and infrastructure partnerships to allow us to support contact centers all around the world. So we have agents in over 100 countries and over 200 clients globally. So large, complex organizations of scale are no problem for Odigo. In fact, that is something that we're particularly known for. You'll see at the bottom there some of our references. These are some of the largest contact centers in all of Europe. Pôle emploi, in fact, being one of the very largest. And in the UK, you can see HMRC there. As you know, that's large government tax agency in the UK. That's over 30,000 agents running on Odigo right now. And that's what Odigo has been known for over the years, are these sort of large, complex organizations. Now, one of the transitions that we've gone through in the last couple of years is that to become of a true SaaS player. And that means that although, we have been traditionally known for big, multi-thousand seat contact centers, increasingly, particularly in light of some of the challenges that other contact center vendors are having in our market at the moment, we're seeing sort of more mid-market type of organizations looking for a scalable, resilient, trusted enterprise provider that they can work with. And that's something that Odigo is now addressing. So where previously we may have only sold to, 500 seat plus kind of market, now we have customers that are, say, 150 plus. So a broad spectrum of clients that we can work with. So I'm going to go a little bit back further into our history because I think that helps to explain who Odigo are. So let's go all the way back to 1986. Odigo wasn't called Odigo firstly, and we were also not a contact center provider. In fact, we were sort of the French equivalent of teletext. So you'll know teletext in the UK was a service through your TV that you could look in, what the weather was or what the football scores were. Well, it was very similar for Odigo, but instead it was actually a telephone-based service using what they call premium numbers, where it's a pay-as-you-use phone number service where you could call up, you could find out the racehorse results or what the weather was like in your area. And that was an automated telephone-based service on a consumption-based pricing. And I think that's particularly interesting because those sort of bits of our DNA going all the way back to 1986 are still very much part of Odigo's DNA now today. And Rob here will talk a little bit about some of our key strengths in a little bit. Now, if we move forward in time to 2011, Capgemini acquired Prosody, as we were called at that point in time, and renamed as Prosody Capgemini. And we spent about 8 years as part of Capgemini, being phenomenally successful selling into many of Capgemini's large enterprise clients across the UK and Europe. Now, in 2021, we actually took the mutual decision with Capgemini to divest Odigo away fully from Cap so that we could take on some private equity investment and invest both in our people and in our product. One of the key things that we did with that investment was, expand our infrastructure options so that we weren't only able to offer hybrid cloud architecture, but also now a true SaaS public cloud architecture, which allows us to address that wider market that I talked about earlier. But also, we really invested into some of our emerging markets, the UK being one of those, and I'll talk a bit about that now. But first, before I do, just our ambitions as an organization. You can see Erwan Leduff here on the right, our CEO, and he's talking a bit about, what drives Odigo. And, to put it in my own words, Odigo is bringing together technological advancement within contact centers such as AI and automation, but combining that with human expertise. So we have a very business-first approach, a very human approach. We're a French organization, which means we like to be very accessible to our clients, to our partners, and very human in the way that we address the market. And then as we look forward into how we can see the contact center market evolving over the next couple of years, we try to think about, instead of having omni-channel, i.e., people being able to move between different channels, but rather having a channel-less conversation with customers. So it doesn't matter at which point the customer first engages with a business. They can touch points with them across multiple different channels, but it's all recognized as part of one holistic conversation. And that's where Odigo is going as a business, and that's where we'd like to go with our partners like yourselves. So I talked a bit about the investment into the UK and Ireland, and this is what that looks like. And it really spans all 4 key segments of the customer life cycle, from signing all the way through to renewing that customer. So we've got local marketing presence, we've got one marketing manager, and we're currently in the process of hiring for another marketing operations person. We've got 6 business development reps that are available to work with our partners to drive net new opportunities for us and for our partners. Then we've got 3 enterprise experienced account executives that have been with Odigo for some time, really know the market and the various different vertical segments in which we operate within. Then we've got 3 pre-sales consultants, Sinjin, who you've heard a little bit from, and we'll be doing a bit of a demo for us later. Again, all very experienced people within our market. Rob and myself here to cover channel and partnerships. And then lastly, we have 12 local Odigo services consultants to provide local autonomy in delivery and service operations for our customers that we combine with the capabilities of our various different partners in order to drive customer success locally. Just a little bit about our ecosystem. Odigo's approach is very much one of being open to the market. It's one of our core values as a business, and it's also how we go to market. So we typically sell through resellers. So Capgemini, our previous owner, is still one of our most strategic partners and a key reseller of Odigo. We work with other large GSIs like IBM and others, but then we also work with smaller regional partners in various different countries as well in order to sell our product packaged with, a various range of services and complementary technologies to customers to provide the great outcome. From a technology perspective, Odigo has a broad portfolio, but our approach is very much that of, again, being open to the market and integrating with best of breed so that we can provide the best overall solution for customers. And if you look at analyst reports, it's something that we're praised for time and time again. Now, when it comes to CRM, our key biggest partners are Salesforce and Pega in particular. We have integrations with other CRM platforms like Microsoft Dynamics and Zendesk as well. When it comes to AI, we're very open. We integrate with a lot of the best of breed AI solutions and NLU solutions such as IBM Watson, Google Cloud, Allo Media, but also Nuance and others. From a UC perspective, you'll be aware that in the UK in particular, Microsoft Teams has taken the UC market by storm, and we have a great connector with Microsoft Teams. And then lastly, from WFO, we actually resell Verint and can resell that through our partners in turn. So it's actually on our portfolio, and we're able to provide that single one throat to choke for customers when it comes to both combining CCaaS and Verint. Lastly, we've got a number of contact center associations that we're a part of as well. And with that, I'm going to pass you on to Rob to talk a little bit about what makes Odigo so different.
So at the top of the webinar, folks, I talked about how the market, especially in the UK, is very congested. So the question is, how do we stand out on that menu of products, that wine list of products, however you want to tie it back? And we believe that we can do that in 4 ways. We can do that with our product by being flexible, by being simple to use, but also by being European focused. We can do it based upon our experience and pedigree. So yes, we are known for operating in the very large end of contact center, but now with our SaaS capability, we're really targeting 150 seats and above, but we have lots of referential customers in those market spaces. Our focus on those customers and our focus on co-innovation with those customers is really, really important. I think that's what sets us aside from a lot of the competition. And our people, the fact that our people are experienced, agile, and accessible to both clients and partners is really, really important in the foundation of our organization and the way we set ourselves aside in the marketplace. So when we look at the platform, we can deliver the technology stack from the start of a customer experience right the way through to the end. And we break it down into 3 areas: connect, engage, and optimize. So connect being the way the customer comes into the contact center, no matter what that customer choice is, no matter what that channel is. Engage is the way we deal with the transaction. As you've heard from Richard, our background and our pedigree is in automation, so that forms a natural part of the engage section of our portfolio. But also the human element, and how we can support the agent in dealing with that transaction effectively. And when you come to optimize, it's not just about administration, supervision and reporting. Of course, that's part of the platform, but bringing in best of breed to continue the growth and success of that client's customer experience to develop and deliver outcomes further down the line. So our platform is built for that, but was born in the cloud and raised in the cloud. We don't have problems that legacy vendors do around on-prem transition to cloud. We're there naturally. That is our standard deployment methodology. People. So Odigo Experience Services are the team within Odigo that engage with the client before they purchase a solution. So Sinjan and his pre-sales colleagues are there at the start of that sales cycle to make sure that the solution design forms part of the customer outcome. Once the customer is deploying projects, it's our people that make sure that it's deployed correctly, the customer is adopting the technology, so at the end of the day, they will renew their contract, but they're also there for the lifespan of the customer to make sure they're maximizing the investment in that technology stack, to continue to get benefit, to continue to deliver outcome throughout the whole of the customer life cycle. But if you only take one thing away from the session today, I'd really like it to be this slide. So why do we win? Why are Odigo a credible partner for you to introduce your clients and prospects to? Well, first and foremost, it's our position in the market. Our credibility and our pedigree is second to none, especially when it comes to Europe. And that's our target market, UK and Ireland being a really important part of that. The fact that that's backed up by analysts and consultants is absolutely a benefit to you and your clients. But then when it comes to our platform, it's all about contact center at scale. It's about flexibility. It's about integration, but also supporting customer choice. So you can deploy both public and private clouds with Odigo, but also have flexibility in terms of integration, and an underpinning of AI and automation is always a benefit to customers. But when you take those two elements of position and platform and you roll that into our business approach to clients, this is where we really come into our own. We focus on bidding to win from day one in every opportunity. What does that mean? It means we run all client opportunities through both a solution design and a commercial review to make sure that we're delivering on all customer outcomes from day one in the opportunity. The fact that we can be flexible around commercials, the fact that we can be flexible around how we integrate is all part wrapped into that business approach. And that comes onto the services piece, because it's the services team that deliver that flexibility. We thrive in complexity. We are agile in complex environments. We can deliver integrations in project without any concerns or worries. That's a real strength of our services team and our people. And when you take all that together, we've ended up with a bunch of very, very happy customers. So when it comes to referenceability, when it comes to customer success stories and case studies, we have those in all sectors, all verticals, and of all sizes, above our 150-seat target market. So that's why we win, and hopefully you can see how we set ourselves aside from the competition and how we compete. But let's talk a little bit more about commercials, because commercials are important. You want to know that you're introducing your client and prospect to somebody that is going to take them seriously, especially when it comes to the price on the table. So we have two pricing models. We have a concurrent seat model, very similar to lots of other players in the market, but we also have a consumption model, and they're both available to suit customer choice. We have to have both because one pricing model doesn't suit all customers. But within those pricing models, especially when it comes to the concurrent agent model, the ability to flex up and down throughout the lifetime of their contract is a significant benefit, especially when you look at those clients that are seasonal. So you might have a client that signs for a minimum of 150 seats, but twice a year they need to go up to 500. Odigo are perfect for that type of customer. And that's all about our flexibility as a private company and the governance we need to go to come up with those unique pricing models that a customer might need. Sensitive subject, cost of living rises, energy cost rises. Your clients don't want to be surprised by a price increase on their Odigo solution halfway through their contract. We don't do that. For the minimum term contract that the customer initially signs for, there are no price increases through the lifetime of that contract. And that's, again, a good commercial outcome for clients. But that bid to win mentality, you will see when you bring us your first prospect, is what helps us set ourselves aside. The fact that we're focused on what's the commercial outcome, not just the solution outcome, is really, really important. So you've heard about that. Let's go into a live customer success story. Richard?
Thank you, Rob. So this is Crédit Agricole. They're a large commercial bank in France you may have heard of, and they're a particularly interesting case study for a couple of reasons. Firstly, the actual business case of the customer. So Crédit Agricole are not just a bank, but they're also partitioned into different regional funds, all that have different services, different local services, different experiences that they want to offer to customers, which in itself is a challenge for any provider to them. They initially came out to market looking for a solution, a cloud-based solution for their core contact center, which is about 5,000 agents. That in itself is a very large contact center, of course. But in our engagement with Crédit Agricole, using that sort of SI background that we have, that business approach, we understood that they have challenges in their overall CX, their overall customer engagement strategy that expanded beyond just the contact center itself. And so using that commercial flexibility and our ability to deploy at scale, we were able to offer them a truly unique solution that on the market that like we've never seen before. So what did we do? So instead of just deploying contact center to 5,000 contact center agents, we actually deployed it to their entire customer-facing organization, about 50,000 agents, so very large. We're able to do that because people that use the platform only for maybe a certain number of hours a day to answer particular queries aren't charged for a full concurrent license. They're charged just for the minutes that they use while on the platform. A great example of this would be branch advisors. Part of their day is spent working with customers locally in the branch, but part of their day is being able to take calls from customers, their local customers. And by putting them onto a centralized contact center platform, firstly, it's a great experience for the customers. They, instead of calling a local number that may or may not be picked up depending on the branch advisor's availability, instead they call a centralized line which understands their intent, what they're looking to achieve, who they're looking to speak to, and makes an appropriate routing decision. Then when they call in to a branch advisor, we have a calendar integration with the branch advisor's Outlook, and we can actually see if the branch advisor is available in a customer meeting or not. If they're not, instead of the phone line, again, just ringing out or going straight to voicemail, we can tell the customer, actually, they're in a face-to-face meeting at the moment. They'd love to call you back at the next availability option. Would you like to either schedule a call back, or would you like to have, a deflected service, or would you like to leave a voicemail? And that's a much better customer experience. Secondly, by having all of these various different sort of pillars of their business on a single centralized contact center platform, it allows us to capture much better customer intent. So who is calling where and why? This is previously something they couldn't easily do outside of the core contact center. They didn't know who was calling their branch advisors directly or why they were doing it or when they were doing it. They didn't know how long, really, with any certainty, how long those branch advisors were on the phone. Similarly, if they were a customer speaking to a specialist, an expert in the back office on, say, real estate or insurance, they weren't really able to capture that intent data. So it made it very difficult for them to understand how they were engaging with customers. Similarly, they weren't able to offer proper customer segmentation for their customers and offer a personalized routing experience every time they called in, because they didn't know really what their patterns were. So by putting everyone on a centralized platform all the way across the business, they're able to get much better data on their customers and offer a more personalized experience. Lastly, I mentioned that they're actually not a centralized business. They're partitioned into different regional funds. And each of those regional funds wants to offer a personalized experience to their local customers. And we're able to do that. So we provide a centralized single platform of Odigo with some level of partitioning so that each regional fund can offer a personalized experience to their customers. And this is a truly transformational project for Crédit Agricole. And we've used this same use case a couple of other times more recently with similar banks with similar challenges. And it really, I think, is underpinned by Odigo's core strengths, right? You know, our commercial flexibility, our ability to deliver at scale, and our business approach and our industry expertise that we utilize. We're not just a technology partner to our customers, we're very much a business partner for the long term. So hopefully that gives you a flavor of how we, utilize some of those strengths that Rob talked about for an actual client. Lastly, I'm going to pass you on now for a demo. You've heard a little bit about our grape. You understand how it was grown. We've talked to you a little bit about the wine and the flavor, but now it's time to actually taste the wine with a live demo.
Odigo's omni-channel agent desktop is able to manage end-to-end customer journeys with the support of AI text knowledge and a single pane of glass to orchestrate multiple business applications. The agent dashboard provides an overview for agents on their settings and performance. Here, our agent can choose his endpoint and see all the skills assigned to him. Next, we get a snapshot of his handled interactions. The My Metrics gives the agent feedback and performance stats on how well they're performing on the given day, allowing them to easily see how they are meeting their KPIs. Teddy is ready to begin his day. He sets the status to available. As he's working from home, he is presented with some performance indicators to know how his team or queues are. Our customer, James, has recently upgraded his coffee game, but is facing some problems with his new coffee machine. He confirms his order number, selects the coffee machine in question, and is presented with some troubleshooting options. Therefore, the next step is to speak to an advisor. Being fully integrated to the queues, James chooses the quickest option, a call in this case. The callback request has landed our skilled agent, Teddy Jones. He's presented with context passed from the chatbot. As James is being verified, his profile within Customer Interaction 360 is automatically presented. The communication bar now has call controls available, such as creating a callback, transferring, pausing, and sending an SMS or email. CI360 gives a single view of the customer. Customer interaction history across all channels gives agents visibility of previous customer journeys. The flexible widget leverages speech-to-text and AI to assist our agent with suitable next steps. In this scenario, it is proposing alternative coffee machines. Utilizing business applications within the widget allows for a quick resolution. In our scenario, an exchange has started, but James wants to investigate the alternative coffee machines to see which is the best fit for him. Teddy uses templates to send an SMS with details of the exchange. Our agent is assigned to multiple channels and skills. He has 4 interactions on the go. James has reviewed the alternative coffee machines and is ready to complete his exchange. He is on the go, so he opts to chat over WhatsApp and uses the response assistant to quickly reply to James. By checking the back-end CRM application, he has the context of the previous conversation. Then he can complete the exchange process by selecting the new coffee machine to be exchanged. Irrespective of the channel origin, agents are empowered with channel-specific capabilities, such as for Twitter, they can like, retweet, or take the conversations to a private message. The positive customer engagement prompts our agent to give a discount code to drive further sales.
So what you've seen there is how we can create a very simple workflow, but can be very engaging for the customer and deliver a really good customer experience. So you've heard about the grape, you've seen the wine. What's the food that goes with that? Well, it's our referral partner program. So I'm now going to take you through exactly what that means. So the program itself is designed to deliver three things. It's designed to build a community of like-minded organizations and people that can get behind the Odigo ambition and vision, but also a vendor that will align with yours as well. So when we talk about community, it's about access to content, it's about access to expertise, and it's about sharing success. A little bit more about that later. The program's designed to be win-win. So not only are we asking you to refer customers to us, but it's about when we come across an opportunity that's outside of our remit, maybe it's UC, maybe it's collaboration, mobility, security, we can refer those opportunities back to you. But underpinning is the fact that we're both trusted advisors in our own space. And support. So support to help you build your business as well as you helping us build ours. So we'll give you access to great content that will help you have conversations with your prospects, with your clients, help you uncover more opportunities, alongside all of the other marketing resource that we can bring to the table for you. So that's what the program's designed to do. But what are we expecting from you? We want to be transparent about this bit. So first and foremost, there has to be a contract. So we've got a very simple referral partner agreement that we can walk you through and get signed. That will get you engaged with us and vice versa. We want to enable you. We've got to teach you about Odigo. We've got to teach you about the product so you can have credible conversations with your clients and prospects. We'll help you identify where Odigo is the right product to pitch. And if we're not, we'll tell you. And that's really important. We don't want you to waste referrals where we haven't got the potential to win or we're not suited to that customer. So we'll be transparent, we'll be honest, and help you identify the right prospects to bring to Odigo. We want to help you, and you help us influence the sales cycle. So there's nothing better than having a trusted advisor on the inside with a client that will help us build out our story, build out our pedigree, and really focus on those customer outcomes. And then finally, amplify our joint messages. When you've had a win, we'll share it. When we've had a win, we'd like you to do the same. And that'll amplify and build out brand awareness on both sides within the marketplace. Again, coming back to that win-win. But I'm sure you all want to know what the commercials look like. So when it comes to Odigo's own licenses, we will pay a 15% recurring commission on a monthly basis based upon the previous month's billing. So that incorporates that flex up, flex down scenario I talked about when we were identifying why Odigo win. The only difference on that 15% is when we sell a third-party license or a license where we've got to share some back-end revenue with another provider. So on those licenses and those licenses only, we'll offer a 7% commission, but again, paid in the same monthly manner on the previous month's billing. And should you help us build out a customer success story that we can then take to market, we can amplify, we can sing about, there'll be an additional 2% commission added to the referral commission for that client. So hopefully that shows you how simple our commission model is. But when you talk about the commission sizes, 150 seats of contact center or above are big deals. So we're not talking about small change here. These are significant commission opportunities for you and your organization. And we pay that commission for the lifetime of the customer. So from vine to grape to bottle. So when the customer renews for another 3 years, we will carry on paying that commission to you and your organization. And hopefully that shows our commitment to the entire customer success story. Okay, so lead registration is really important in a referral scenario. So if you are the only organization to register a lead through our partner portal, then you will get the full commission when we go and close out that customer. If 2 or more partners register the same prospect at the same time, then we will ask the end user, which one of those partners would you like Odigo to support? We think that's the fairest way, and it kind of gives the customer the opportunity to tell us who they want to work with. And any lead you register in the partner portal is fully valid for a 12-month period, so there's more than enough time for us to run through a sales cycle, close that customer out, and then get you paid once they've been deployed. But then when it comes to community, this is the bit I'm really excited about. I want to have a landscape of partners that are all on the same page when it comes to contact center as a service. You'll clearly understand how Odigo go to market, what our target customers are, where we can be successful. And that will be driven through engagement, through regular marketing messages, regular communications, and news and updates. We want you to have access to all of our resources, all of our content that you can add a logo to, you can take a white paper, you can do joint webinars with us, whatever that may be to help us both generate pipeline, all of that content and support is available to you. Odigo will be attending regular events. So we just attended an expo last week down at Excel. You can absolutely come and join us on the stand, come and join us at those events, and again, share that you're there with us and we'll do the same. And that when it comes to amplification, it's about follows, likes, and shares. It's about building up the profile of your organization in our world and our organization in your world. We'll also be holding a partner spotlight where we'll focus in on one of our partners and really promote it out to our ecosystem. But the program and the community's got to be win-win. You will have expertise that we can share with other partners in our landscape. We can refer other partners to maybe a partner's got experience in healthcare, in legal, in insurance, whatever it may be. So we're giving value back. But also that opportunity for referral to work both ways is really important and really compelling. But ultimately, we also want to be able to pop the cork. Okay, when you've had success and we've had success, we should be sharing it. We should be getting it out on social media. We should be driving those customer case studies so we can essentially create a business that's copy paste and really repeatable for everybody involved in the process. And this is the bit I'm really excited about doing. So what are the next steps? Well, let's open the bottle. Let's have a conversation. Let's get a contract in front of you guys so we can start that journey of onboarding you into the world of Odigo. Get you enabled, get you understanding what the proposition really is about, and equipping you to be able to generate more pipeline and more prospects from the people that you know in your network. Okay. So this takes us to the end of the formal presentation. What we're going to do now is we're going to just pause for a couple of minutes. That will give everybody time to type in any questions they've got through the chat application. So you're going to see a counter come up on your screen. It doesn't mean we've disappeared. It doesn't mean there's a technical fault. We're still here. And we'll come back in 2 minutes and we'll answer any of your questions. Thanks, folks. Welcome back, folks, and thank you for the questions that you've inputted online. What we've done is we've summarised those into 3 key questions that have come back, and we'll ask those now and get them answered by the team. So the first question, what happens if I come across a client that is less than 150 seats but might be a good fit for Odigo? So this is a really good question. Richard, can you answer that one?
Yeah, I can take that one. Thank you for the question. So there's no hard and fast rules with Odigo regarding, seat numbers. It's not a technical limitation or anything like that. It's more to do with what the value is to us and our partner and whether it's commercially viable. So I think it depends on what the client is. So firstly, for example, you get some quite large, quite complex organizations that only have relatively small contact centers. An example of this might be, say, pharmaceuticals. And in those cases, they might be looking for a true sort of complex enterprise vendor to work with, in which case Odigo is an appropriate fit for that. So we can qualify that with you. Similarly, some organizations might be kind of household names, flagship brands, or, if we look at the public sector, for example, the NHS, where, it's segmented into multiple small contact centers and you can't win all of the NHS, you win a component of it. And in those cases, again, we'll review that on an opportunity by opportunity basis. So I would say, generally speaking, it is worth, referring the opportunity to us and allowing us to work with you to qualify whether that is a good fit. And we will be open and honest with you as to whether that's appropriate. Where I would say it's probably not the right fit is where it's, a small company, not particularly on a very fast growth trajectory with, say, a 50-seat contact center. That's clearly not going to require the complexity that Odigo can offer there. IVR paths and routing requirements are going to be pretty straightforward, I would expect. So there are other vendors out there that can serve them more quickly than us.
Thank you, Richard. So the second question is, where are your data centers located and how do you deploy private cloud? So this was asked a number of times, but is the same sort of question. So Sinjin, can you answer that one for us?
Yeah, of course I can. So it's fully hosted within the UK. So Odigo really have a hybrid approach. We've mentioned we can do both public and private cloud. Now, specifically in the UK, most of our customers are on private. So that is disparate UK data centers with interconnectivity through Equinox. So we have both those options available.
Thank you very much, Sinjin. So the final question, how does a typical engagement work? So I should probably take that one, share the workload. So it starts with you guys identifying a potential prospect for Odigo. You would log into our partner portal. You would fill in a very simple form that gives the basic details of that customer, i.e. the name of the organization, the opportunity size, and the contact person that you're dealing with. That lead will come to me. We will look into CRM to make sure that we haven't seen or engaged with that organization beforehand. And if we haven't, the lead will automatically be passed over to one of our account executives. The AE, account executive, will contact you, run through a qualification process around, your level of engagement with that client. Where are we? What's the challenge? What's the pain? And then we will start the sales cycle. And the very early part of that sales cycle is where we bring in that bid to win mentality. So as soon as we can, there will be a both commercial review and a solution design review to make sure right from the early stages of the sales cycle, we are pitching the solution with the right outcomes in the right way at the right price. And that's really, really important. And I think it will be of loads of value to you and your client. As we run through the sales cycle, there'll be different resources within Odigo engaged with the customer, remembering we've got that underpinning of the Odigo Experience Services team, pre-sales, and the consultants that can help build out the picture that Odigo is the right solution. So that's typically how a sales engagement would work. Once we've landed the order, then it would move into deployment phase, adoption, and then through the rest of the customer lifecycle. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Okay, so that was all the questions we had. So thank you to everybody for your time and attention today. Life is definitely too short to drink bad wine, okay? And I know that's a little bit cheesy, but Odigo are a very safe pair of hands, both for you, your clients, and your prospects. There is no bad wine here, folks. So if you are interested in those next steps, reach out to me. I'll get in contact anyway after this event, and let's get started on the journey. Thanks to everybody for your time. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you.